Hello everyone. Today I am going to present you a Ryanair and Southwest comparison report, which is created by me, my friend Hilmi and my friend Emin. I am going to talk about different topics about these airlines, and we are going to compare them. For general information, in this presentation, two airlines that are being compared are low-cost carriers, Southwest and Ryanair. The information given in the slides taken into account for the year ending 2019. Comparing the network and range, Southwest Airlines is operating more destinations with higher range than Ryanair, due to the fact that Southwest doesn't operating only in North America but also Caribbean region. However, Ryanair doesn't operate in whole Europe continent, so the operating areas are uh, lower than Southwest as for Ryanair's perspective. With all the information given, Southwest achieved better performance in fleet size, type, and aircraft utilization. But in fleet age, Ryanair achieved a better performance, as you can see in the graph. As for other comparisons in this table, I created uh, bar charts which help us understand better of these comparisons. Flight size, flight type, and flight time is better in Southwest Airlines, as we can see in the bar charts. However, age, aircraft capacity, and distance traveled by daily is better in Ryanair. As aircraft capacity, I need to calculate a weighted average because there is no data given in Ryan, in Southwest side, because the aircraft fleet is heterogeneous. There is two different types of aircraft in Southwest. However, in Ryanair there is only one single type of aircraft. When we look to the revenue passenger carried, load factor, on-time performance, Ryanair showed a better performance. On the other hand, Southwest showed a better performance on RPM, ASM, and break-even load factor. As we can see in the table, in four table, I compared them in detailed. These all data are acquired from. As we are concluding the general information with all the data given above, the carriers which have been compared doesn't have huge difference between one another, but a slight difference, because of both of them are low-cost carrier. However, they are not in the same market because of the region they are giving service to passengers. Southwest is a North America airliner and flying in that region only with short and point-to-point flights. It is the same in Ryanair site. Only difference is they are serving only European region. In fact, not all the Europe. So it is normal to doesn't have huge difference in flight type, size, RPM, ASM, etc. Between two of them. As for the cost breakdown, Southwest have 87% of total operating expenses. However, there is a 13 percentage of non-operating expenses, with a number of you can see in the table. However, as for Ryanair's site, there is close to 100% total operating expenses and 1% to non-operating expenses. As for the Southwest, you can see in the table for Ryanair. We can see cost of Southwest in details. All the information, all the data given in here is in millions of dollars. So there is 8,293 million dollars salary, wage, and benefit cost to the Southwest airline, and the second biggest cost to airline is of course fuel and oil, which is 22% of the whole cost to airline. We can see detailed in pie chart, And of course, in the below there is a table which is giving rate and costs to generate this pie chart. As for Ryanair, Ryanair achieved a lower cost than Southwest. As we can see, there is a cost of the total operating expenses, $6,680 million of cost. However, in Southwest, there is approximately more than 3 times cost than Ryanair, with approximately $20,000 million. But in Ryanair's perspective, the most expense of the airline is fuel and oil. As for comparison of cost available seat kilometers for Southwest and Ryanair, Southwest's expenses are higher because it is more complicated airline than Ryanair. The cost available seat kilometer number reflects this condition as well. Southwest fuel costs are much higher than Ryanair's, as is well known, and this is expressed in cost available seat kilometer costs. Why is one airline's fuel cost percentage lower or higher than the other? As for our presentation, Ryanair's percentage is higher than Southwest. However, the actual data is actual expense in fuel cost is higher in Southwest. It is simply because of the other expenses is much higher in Southwest Airlines. For example, salaries, wages. In Ryanair, it is very low. So what is hedging? What is fuel hedging? So fuel hedging is a contractual tool some large fuel consuming companies, such as airlines, cruise lines, and trucking companies, use to reduce their exposure to volatile and potentially rising fuel costs because it is a volatile market. How about airlines? They try to reduce fuel costs, worker costs, and other costs. Labor and fuel prices are the two most important costs that airlines face in the aviation industry. In most cases, airlines must compete on price rather than content. As a result, they buy futures contracts to lock in their price for a set amount of time, effectively making it into a fixed cost. Since the aviation industry operating costs fluctuate, businesses are exposed to interest rate danger. Hedging is a technique used by businesses to avoid the high cost of petrol, as I mentioned and explained before. As for operating revenues, we are seeing two pie charts here and two actual data, which is that actual data are total operating revenue of Southwest. And the left side, we can see Southwest revenue distribution pie chart. Blue color represent passenger, the ticket sold revenues, and the orange one is representing ancillary revenue, which is in-flight activities. As for Ryanair, ancillary revenue gap is higher to total distribution of revenue than Southwest. However, the total operating revenue of Ryanair is higher than the half of the Southwest, because Southwest's 22 billion. However, Ryanair is 9.5 billion US dollars of operating revenue. Ancillary revenue results. Since they are both low-cost carriers, they have similar ancillary revenue sources such as early bird check-in option from Southwest, in-flight purchases of premium beverages, alcoholic drinks, early check-in with preferred seat position, and etc. As a result, Southwest achieved higher ancillary revenue in US dollars. However, the distribution to total revenue, it is higher in Ryanair. as I mentioned in this graph. The orange part is occupying more area than Southwest in Ryanair. Alliance membership situations. The next part I'm going to talk about. Ryanair does not belong to any of the three major airline alliances, although Ryanair has shown interest in joining the Oneworld Alliance, Star Alliance, and SkyTeam Alliance. They are not officially a member of any of these organizations yet. Like Ryanair, Southwest is also running their operations without an alliance membership. This fact is a result of low-cost carrier feature. Subsidiary companies, as I mentioned a little bit, Malta Air is a subsidiary airline of Ryanair between Buzz and Lauda Airlines. On the other hand, Southwest does not have any sub-brands of airline. However, they have some other subsidiary companies working on different areas for the assist of their operations. For example, Southwest Jet Fuel Company. These all subsidiaries are assisting Southwest operations some point. When we look at the bar chart, we can obviously see Southwest achieved a better performance in revenue available seat mile, like more than 2 times of Ryanair. But this is a result of fleet size. Risk factors. There are many low-cost carriers that compete with both airlines. Around 60 new low-cost carriers were established in 2004. Despite becoming a full-service carrier, Aer Lingus switched to a low-cost carrier approach in 2002, putting it in direct competition with Ryanair on Irish routes. As for operating margins, as we can see in the graph, Ryanair achieved a very, very good operating margin percentage in several years. However, I think that's an effect of COVID. They decreased both COVID and Brexit. As you know, Ryanair is a Irish airliner. So when United Kingdom exits from European Union, which caused losing the freedoms of air, and so the operating margins should likely to fall. But there is a slight effect of COVID as well. As for comparing net margins, it is similar in comparing operating margins. There is not a big difference. There is a significant fall in Ryanair's margin because of Brexit. However, Southwest achieved normal margin in all 4 years given. As for conclusion part, for all the information provided in the slide, the carriers that have been compared do not have a significant gap between them, although they do have a minor difference since they are both low-cost carriers, as I mentioned earlier before. However, they are not in the same competition because of the area in which they provide service to passengers. Southwest is a North American airline that only operates point-to-point flights in that region. It is the same on Ryanair's side. The only distinction is that they only serve in European zone, not the whole continent. And however, to be added, after Brexit, they already lost some of the air rights, so they are in a very bad position to Southwest when we compare them. As a result, there aren't much variations in fleet type, capacity, RPM, ASM, and other factors between the two. Thank you for your listening. Thank you for your time. We enjoyed preparing this presentation. I hope you enjoyed that.